Australia returned for a 7-match ODI series in India in October, and Tendulkar made 14, 4, 32, and 40 in the first 4 games. In the 5th match, with the series tied at 2-2, Australia amassed 350 quarters in 50 overs. Tendulkar made his 45th ODI 100, a 175 off 141 balls. Just when it seemed that he would steer India to the large victory target, he tried to scoop a slower delivery from debutant bowler Clint McKay over short fine leg, only to be caught by Nathan Hauritz, with India needing 19 runs to win with 18 balls and 4 wickets left. The Indian tail collapsed, and Australia won the match by 3 runs. During this match, Tendulkar also became the first player to reach 17,000 ODI runs, and achieved his personal best against Australia, as well as the 3rd highest score in a defeat. The knock was voted as the best ODI batting performance of 2009 by ESPN Cricinfo. In the 5-match ODI series against Sri Lanka in 2009-10, Tendulkar scored 69, 43, 96 not out and 8 in the first 4 matches, with the 5th match being abandoned as the pitch was deemed unfit and potentially dangerous. India won the series 3-1. In the Test series that followed, he scored a 100 not out in the first Test, which was drawn, and 40 and 53 in the second and third Tests, respectively, as India clinched innings victories in both the Tests to win the series 2-0. Sachin rested himself for the ODI tri-series in Bangladesh in 2010, but played in the subsequent Test series. He made 105 not out and 16 in the first Test, and 143 in the second. India won both the Tests. In the 2 Test series against South Africa, Tendulkar made 7 and 100 in the first Test. He then scored 106 in the first innings of the second Test, which was his 47th 100 in Test cricket. It was also his 4th 100 in successive Tests, and he was the 4th Indian to achieve this feat. In the second match of the subsequent ODI series, Tendulkar scored 200 not out, becoming the world's first batsman to score a double century in ODI cricket and breaking the previous highest score of 194 jointly held by Pakistan's Saeed Anwar and Zimbabwe's Charles Coventry. From February to April, Bangladesh, India, and Sri Lanka hosted the 2011 World Cup, amassing 482 runs at an average of 53.55 including 2 centuries. Tendulkar was India's leading run scorer for the tournament. Only Tilakaratne Dilshan of Sri Lanka scored more runs in the 2011 tournament, and was named in the ICC and Quat team of the tournament and Quat. India defeated Sri Lanka in the final. Shortly after the victory, Tendulkar commented that in Quat, winning the World Cup is the proudest moment of my life. I couldn't control my tears of joy. And Quat, India were due to tour the West Indies in June, although Tendulkar chose not to participate. He returned to the squad in July for India's tour of England. Throughout the tour there was much hype in the media about whether Tendulkar would reach his 100th century in international cricket, Test and ODIs combined. However, his highest score in the Tests was 91. Tendulkar averaged 34.12 in the series as England won 4-0 as they deposed India as the number 1 ranked Test side. The injury Tendulkar sustained to his right foot in 2001 flared up, and as a result he was ruled out of the ODI series that followed. Tendulkar created another record on 8 November 2011 when he became the first cricketer to score 15,000 runs in Test cricket, during the opening Test match against the West Indies at the Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium in New Delhi. For his performances in 2011, he was named in the World Test 11 by the ICC. Ian Chappell was not happy with Sachin's performance after India's tour of Australia. He says that Sachin's quest for his 100th hundred has proved to be a hurdle for the entire team and has hampered their performance on the tour of Australia. Former India World Cup winning captain and all-rounder Kapil Dev has also voiced his opinion that Sachin should have retired from ODIs after the World Cup. Former Australian fast bowler Jeff Lawson has said that Sachin has the right to decide when to quit, although he adds that Tendulkar should not delay it for too long. The selection committee of BCCI expectedly included Sachin in the national test squad for the upcoming series against New Zealand commencing in August 2012. Tendulkar scored his 100th international hundred on the 16th of March 2012 at Mirpur against Bangladesh in the Asia Cup. He became the first person in history to achieve this feat, which was also his first ODI 100 against Bangladesh. He said in quote, "It's been a tough phase for me. I was not thinking about the milestone. The media started all this. Wherever I went, the restaurant, room service, everyone was talking about the 100th hundred. Nobody talked about my 99 hundreds. It became mentally tough for me because nobody talked about my 99 hundreds." End quote. Despite Tendulkar's century, India failed to win the match against Bangladesh, losing by 5 wickets. After being bowled out in 3 similar instances against New Zealand and hitting a slump in form, Tendulkar returned to the Ranji Trophy to get back some form ahead of the England series at home, in a match for Mumbai against Railways on 2 November 2012. This was his first Ranji Trophy match since 2009. He scored 137 off 136 balls, with 21 fours and 3 sixes, to take his team to 344 for 4 at stumps on day 1. However, because of a poor form in the first 2 tests in the series against England, and India being humiliated in the second match of that series by 10 wickets on 26 November 2012, some people have started to question his place in the Indian team. A report by the Hindustan Times said that Tendulkar had a discussion with the national chief selector Sandeep Patil, in which he said that he would leave it to the selectors to decide on his future as he is not getting any runs. This speculation, however, was later considered to be false. Then he decided to play in the knockout stage of the 2012-13 Ranji Trophy. He scored 108 in the quarter-final against Baroda before being bowled by Murtuza Vahora, where Sachin was involved in a 234-run partnership with opener Wasim Jaffer, 150, for the third wicket at Wankhede Stadium. Mumbai eventually piled on 645 ninths and won on first innings lead. In the semi-final against Services at Palam, a ground, with Mumbai reeling at 23 thirds, Sachin scored 56 from 75 balls and had an 81-run fourth wicket partnership with Abhishek Nair, 70, and Mumbai eventually won on first innings lead after the match went into the 6th day due to rain delays. In the final against Saurashtra, he was run out for 22. Following a misunderstanding with Wasim Jaffer, Mumbai eventually won the Ranji Trophy 2012-13. He also played in the Irani Trophy for Mumbai, where he scored 140 against rest of India and helped Mumbai to score 409 in reply to rest of India's 526. This was also his 81st hundred in first-class cricket, equaling Sunil Gavaskar's Indian record for most first-class hundreds. Following poor performance in the 2012 series against England, Tendulkar announced his retirement from one-day internationals on 23 December 2012, while noting that he will be available for Test cricket. In response to the news, former India captain Sourav Ganguly noted that Tendulkar could have played the upcoming series against Pakistan, while Anil Kumble said it would be "and quite tough to see an Indian ODI team list without Tendulkar's name in it and quite," and Javagal Srinath mentioned that Tendulkar and quite changed the way ODIs were played right from the time he opened in New Zealand in 1994 and quite after playing a 2020 international in 2006 against South Africa. He said that he would not play the format again. He announced his retirement from the IPL after his team, Mumbai Indians, beat Chennai Super Kings by 23 runs at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata on the 26th of May to win the Indian Premier League 2013. He retired from 2020 cricket and limited overs cricket, after playing the 2013 Champions League 2020 in September to October 2013 in India for Mumbai Indians. On 10 October 2013, Tendulkar announced that he would retire from all cricket after the two Test series against West Indies in November. At his request, the BCCI arranged that the two matches be played at Kolkata and Mumbai so that the farewell would happen at his home ground. He scored 74 runs in his last Test innings against West Indies, thus falling short by 79 runs to complete 16,000 runs in Test cricket. The next man to bat after him was the future captain Virat Kohli. The Cricket Association of Bengal and the Mumbai Cricket Association organized events to mark his retirement from the sport. Various national and international figures from cricket, politics, Bollywood and other fields spoke about him in a day-long Salam Sachin conclave organized by India Today. In July 2014, he captained the MCC side in the bicentenary celebration match at Lord's. In December 2014, he was announced ambassador of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015 event. It is his second term, as he has already held the ambassador of the previous ICC Cricket World Cup 2011. He got the ambassador position of the ICC Cricket World Cup in consecutive terms of the Cricket World Cup 2011 and 2015. Tendulkar organized exhibition cricket matches in partnership with former Aussie cricketer Shane Warne. Cricket All-Stars held in USA and baseball stadiums and had retired players, some of them was Sourav Ganguly, Shoaib Akhtar, Wasim Akram. He captained the India Legends team to victory in the 2020-21 Road Safety World Series and was the leading run scorer for the Indian team in the tournament. He acted as a coach for the Ponting 11 during the Big Appeal. During the innings break, he batted an over against Elise Perry and Annabelle Sutherland at Perry's request. Tendulkar was made the icon player and captain for his home side, the Mumbai Indians, in the inaugural Indian Premier League 2020 competition in 2008. As an icon player, he was signed for a sum of $1,121,250 United States dollars, 15% more than the second highest paid player in the team, Sanath Jayasuriya. In 2010 edition of Indian Premier League, Mumbai Indians reached the final of the tournament. Tendulkar made 618 runs in 14 innings during the tournament, breaking Sean Marsh's record of most runs in an IPL season. He was declared player of the tournament for his performance during the season. He also won Best Batsman and Best Captain awards at 2010 IPL awards ceremony. Sachin has scored more than 500 runs in IPL in 2 different seasons as a captain. Sachin Tendulkar captained Mumbai Indians in 4 league matches of second edition of the league. He scored 68 in the first match and 48 against Guyana. But Mumbai Indians failed to qualify for semi-finals after losing the initial 2 matches. Tendulkar scored 135 runs in the 2011 IPL against Kochi Tuskers Kerala. Tendulkar scored his maiden 2020 100. He scored 100 not out off 66 balls. In 2013, Sachin retired from Indian Premier League, and in 2014 he was appointed as the Mumbai Indians and Quat team icon and Quat. His last match for the team was the final of the 2013 Champions League, where he scored 14 runs in an Indians victory. In his 78 matches in the IPL, Tendulkar scored a total of 2,334 runs. At the time of his retirement, he was the fifth highest run scorer in the competition's history. Mumbai Indians retired his number 10 jersey as a tribute to Tendulkar. Tendulkar is cross-dominant. He bats, bowls and throws with his right hand, but writes with his left hand. He also practices left-handed throws at the nets on a regular basis. Cricinfo columnist Sambit Bal has described him as the Quat most wholesome batsman of his time in Quat. His batting is based on complete balance and poise while limiting unnecessary movements and flourishes. He appears to show little preference for the slow and low wickets which are typical in India, and has scored many centuries on the hard, bouncy pitches in South Africa and Australia. He is known for his unique punch style of hitting the ball over square. He is also renowned for his picture-perfect straight drive, often completed with no follow-through. The straight drive is often said to be his favorite shot. In 2008, Sunil Gavaskar, in an article he wrote in the AFP, remarked that in Quat, it is hard to imagine any player in the history of the game who combines classical technique with raw aggression like the little champion does in Quat. Equipment-wise, his bats tend to be heavier than the average batman. Sir Donald Bradman, considered by many as the greatest batsman of all time, considered Tendulkar to have a batting style similar to his. In his biography, it is stated that in Quat, Bradman was most taken by Tendulkar's technique, compactness and shot production, and had asked his wife to have a look at Tendulkar, having felt that Tendulkar played like him. Bradman's wife, Jessie, agreed that they did appear similar. In Quat, former Australian cricket team coach John Buchanan voiced his opinion that Tendulkar had become susceptible to the short ball early in his innings because of a lack of footwork. Buchanan also believes Tendulkar has a weakness while playing left-arm pace. He was affected by a series of injuries since 2004. Since then, Tendulkar's batting has tended to be less attacking. Explaining this change in his batting style, he has acknowledged that he is batting differently because, firstly, no batsman can bat the same way for the entire length of a long career, and, secondly, he is a senior member of the team now and thus has more responsibility. During the early part of his career, he was a more attacking batsman and frequently scored centuries at close to a run a ball. Ian Chappell, former Australian player, remarked in 2007 that in Quat, Tendulkar now is nothing like the player he was when he was a young bloke in Quat. Tendulkar has incorporated several modern and unorthodox strokes into his repertoire, including the paddle sweep, the scoop over short fine leg and the slash to third man over the slips heads, especially in his later years. He is often praised for his ability to adapt to the needs of his body and yet keep scoring consistently. While Tendulkar was not a regular bowler, he could bowl medium pace, leg spin, and off spin. He often bowled when two batsmen of the opposite team had been batting together for a long period, as he could often be a useful partnership breaker. With his bowling, he helped secure an Indian victory on more than one occasion. He took 201 international wickets, 46 in tests, 154 in ODIs where he is India's 12th highest wicket taker, and 1 wicket in 2020 internationals.